Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, if you've ever, tried to sound more natural speaking English, you probably know the real challenge isn't always the big words.
Hmm. It's often those tiny combinations, right? Like phrasal verbs. And today, we're tackling one small word that does so much heavy lifting. PUT. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, put on its own, simple enough, placing something somewhere. But then you add a little preposition like away or off, and suddenly, boom,
It just explodes, yeah.
exactly, into like 5, 10, even more essential meanings, the kind native speakers use constantly without even thinking.
Mhm.
So we pulled out 5 key PUT phrases from the material, the ones you really, really need if you want to get that natural fluency.
The essential
Our
ones.
mission today is basically a shortcut. We're diving deep into these phrases, looking at the hidden meanings, even some surprising slang. We want you to leave understanding not just what they mean, but kind of why they work. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, that's a great way to frame it because when you look at all these put phrases together, what's really interesting is they mostly circle around this core idea of action and adjustment.
Action and adjustment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're either physically adjusting things, objects, or maybe socially adjusting relationships, or even just adjusting timelines, schedules. And understanding that framework, like our sources show, it's actually a huge shortcut to getting a better handle on everyday English.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's dive in with those physical actions first. Storing things, returning things. Let's start with put away.
Right. Put away. The most basic literal meaning is about storage. You take something you've finished using and you put it back where it normally belongs, its proper spot.
Yeah, the everyday stuff like, I need to put away the groceries, or can you ask the kids to put away their toys? It's about clearing up, storing things properly. Neatness, basically.
Exactly, tidying up.
But then, and this is where it gets interesting and maybe trips people up, we jump from storing dishes to something much more, well, figurative.
We do. Figuratively, put away can mean setting something aside in your mind, often an emotion or maybe a thought that's getting in the way.
Ah, okay. Yeah, like the example in the sources. Yeah, she had to put away her fear before giving the presentation. She mentally stored that fear, temporarily set it aside so she could function,
Yeah,
like putting it in a mental box for later.
precisely. And then there's the really surprising one, the slang use related to consumption.
Consumption, like eating.
Exactly. If someone says, wow, he can really put away pizza, it means he eats a lot of pizza, a huge amount.
Wow, I actually hadn't connected put away with eating like that. That feels like a massive leap from putting away laundry. How does that work? What's the link?
Well, the link seems to be this kind of metaphor, right? Your stomach is like a container, maybe a storage space.
Okay.
So when you put away food, you're metaphorically filling that container, your stomach. It suggests not just eating, but eating in large quantities, like you're efficiently stocking a shelf.
Uh-huh.
It's a bit crude, maybe, but it paints a picture.
Yeah, it does, like you're packing it in. Okay, that makes it memorable. It's like the Swiss Army knife of storage verbs.
Kinda, yeah.
All right, so moving slightly, let's look at put back. Now, this sounds similar to put away, but you're saying there's a key difference about where things go.
Precisely. Put back is very specific. It's about returning something to its exact original place after it's been moved temporarily. The focus isn't just general storage, it's restoring the exact previous order.
Okay, so if I borrow your stapler from your desk, you'd want me to put it back right where I found it.
Exactly.
But if I just finished using, say, plates, I'd put them away in the cupboard, their general storage spot.
Perfect distinction. Put
Mm.
back is restoration, put away is storage. But, just like put away, put back has a totally different second meaning. This one takes us out of the physical world and into, well, scheduling.
Ah, the time meaning. I saw that.
Yes. It can also mean to delay something or move it to a later, usually specific time. Like, the meeting was put back an hour because the client was late. You often hear this in more official or logistical situations.
Okay, that raises a really important question then, especially for learners trying to sound natural. If put back means delay to a later time, and our next phrase, put off, also means delay, how do we know which one to use? Can they be swapped?
That's a great question. And yeah, it needs clarification. Generally, put back implies a more definite, often shorter reschedule to a known later time.
Okay, specific. Right. The concert start was put back from 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. You know the new time. It's a logistical adjustment. Got it.
Put off, on the other hand, which we're about to discuss, usually implies more uncertainty. It might be postponed indefinitely, maybe even canceled, or it's just something you keep delaying without a firm new plan. Think procrastination.
Ah, okay. So put back is like move it to 4 p.m. while put off is more like, ugh, let's deal with this later. Maybe.
Exactly. Put back, logistical shift. Put off, often procrastination or indefinite delay.
That distinction is super helpful.
Mm.
And it leads us right into put off, focusing on that delay aspect, but
Yeah.
also it has that second really powerful emotional meaning too.
It does.
So the delay part first. We all know this one, right? I keep putting off doing my taxes, or he put off calling the dentist for weeks. It's the classic procrastination verb. Absolutely. We use it all the time for delaying tasks or appointments. But like you said, the real kicker, the reason it's so crucial for social interaction, is that second meaning. Making someone dislike something or someone, turning them away emotionally.
Exactly. Put off can mean to discourage, repel, or make someone lose interest. It creates a feeling of distaste. It's very emotive.
Yeah, like if you read a book description and it sounds really dry, you might say, the summary kind of put me off.
Yeah.
It killed your interest. Precisely. Or the example about a person, his constant complaining really put me off. It means their negativity made you want to avoid them or lose interest in engaging. It sums up that feeling of repulsion or discouragement perfectly, that nope, not interested anymore feeling.
Yeah, it captures that withdrawal of interest. So you always have to listen to the context. Is it about time postponement? Or is it about feelings being discouraged or repelled? This flexibility is why these phrases are everywhere. Makes sense. Okay, let's move to the super versatile one. Put up. This one feels like it covers a lot of ground, from building things to, well, having guests over. It really does. If you try to find a common thread, maybe think about put up as being about raising or erecting something, whether it's a physical thing or maybe a temporary social situation.
Raising or erecting, okay, I can see that. Meaning number one is literal construction, right? Building something. You're physically raising it.
Yep. They're putting up a new office building downtown. Or on a smaller scale, we need to put up a shelf in the living room.
Okay, building. And then meaning number two is similar, raising something but for display.
Exactly. To hang or display something, usually vertically, you put up Christmas decorations or someone might put up flyers for a lost cat. You're making it visible. Raising a structure, raising a display. Okay, the thread holds. But then there's that big leap into the social side. Accommodation. Offering someone a place to stay. Right. Meaning number 3 is all about hospitality. Letting someone stay in your home, usually for a short time. Providing lodging. Don't worry about a hotel. We can put you up for the weekend.
That feels like such a jump, though. From putting up a fence to offering a bed, is that usage still common?
Oh, very common, especially informally. It's much warmer and more casual than saying, we can provide you with accommodation.
Yeah, definitely friendlier.
And it fits that action and adjustment idea again, right? You're adjusting your home setup, raising a temporary arrangement to include a guest. Okay, I see the connection now. That brings us perfectly to our final phrase, which feels almost entirely about social and emotional adjustment. Put up with. Ah, yes. This one is pure endurance. Put up with simply means to tolerate or endure something that's unpleasant, annoying, or difficult. It implies patience, often through gritted teeth. Yeah, it captures that friction of everyday life, doesn't it? Dealing with things you don't like. We use it for small stuff. I don't know how you put up with that constant noise. And for bigger things, too. He had to put up with a really difficult boss for years.
The core idea here is acceptance. Even reluctant acceptance. When you put up with something, you're accepting it exists, maybe because you have no choice, or because fighting it just isn't worth the hassle.
Don't worry and endure it.
Yeah. And the source material had a nice, light example, too, remember? Putting up with a friend's terrible singing at karaoke.
Ah, yes. Or maybe a colleague's endless bad jokes. Exactly. It's about that mutual tolerance needed for people to get along, even with the little annoyances. It's fundamental to social harmony, really.
That makes it super relatable. We all have things we just have to decide to put up with. It really is about patience.
It is. Okay, great. So we've covered all 5. Put away, put back, put off, put up, and put up with. To really see how these flow naturally, let's use that mini story practice from our source. We can read it through, maybe highlighting the action for each one. Sounds good. Let's see them work together.
Okay. Reading slowly. Yesterday, I finally put away my winter clothes. That's the storing action.
Right. I'd been putting it off for weeks, though. And there's the procrastination, the delay.
Then I helped my neighbor put up some new shelves in her garage, building or erecting something.
And she kindly put me up for lunch afterward, hosting, providing hospitality, different put up.
Right. Different meaning. But her kids were running wild. I wasn't sure I could put up with that noise for long. That's the tolerating, the enduring.
Before I left, I made sure to put back her tools exactly where they belonged. And that's the returning action, putting things back in their original spot. That little story packs them all in perfectly. So just a super quick recap. Put away, store, or set aside mentally, emotionally. Put back, return to original place, or reschedule to a later time.
Put off, delay, procrastinate, or discourage someone emotionally.
Put up, build, display, or host someone.
And put up with and endure or tolerate something unpleasant.
So, yeah, what does this all mean for you listening? Well, if we circle back to that core idea, these 5 phrases really do cover all sorts of adjustment, don't they?
They really do.
Organizing your space, managing your time, building things, handling social situations, tolerating difficulties. They're like the building blocks for so much natural, everyday English.
Exactly. So you now have 5 really powerful tools. Using them will make a noticeable difference in how natural you sound and how much you understand. No more guessing when put meets one of these little words.
Yeah, the knowledge is there now. The real key, though, is using it. You've listened, you've hopefully absorbed it, but now it's about actually trying them out. That's when the language really becomes yours.
Right. So maybe the challenge for you this week is just to notice them. Or even better, try to slip 1 or 2 into your own conversations. But don't put it off.
Huh? Exactly. And maybe one last thought to leave you with, drawing from the material. We talked a lot about putting up with things.
Maybe take a moment to think, what are you putting up with right now that maybe you don't need to? Where could you perhaps set a boundary so you don't have to put up with quite so much unnecessary discomfort? Just something to reflect on.